So good evening, everybody. A hearty welcome to everyone who are with us online, both on the GeoMeet app as well as on the Sailors Today YouTube platform. Today's webinar is going to be informative as well as inspirational. Our agenda for the evening will be as follows. Number one, General Secretary MUI, Captain Tushar Pradhan will address the audience. He will speak on the So, General Secretary MUI Tushar Pradhan will be addressing the audience. He will speak on the topic MUI, its impact on the seafaring community and the industry, and plans for the future. Questions for Captain Pradhan can be posted in the chat window, and we will take them up immediately after Captain Pradhan's address. Second, we will have felicitation of Captain Anil Chaudhary by the General Secretary of MUI, Captain Tushar Pradhan. We also thank Captain Sunil Nangia of Sailors Today for covering today's webinar on their YouTube channel. I'll just briefly introduce Captain Tushar Pradhan. Captain Tushar Pradhan was elected as General Secretary of MUI in the month of August 2022. He is a fourth generation seafarer. Captain Pradhan has served in shipping companies like Scindia, Wilhelmsen Ship Management and Wallens. He has been in command for the last 27 years with a total of 45 years at sea. He was a sailing master not too long ago, which is a huge plus for the maritime community. In the brief period during which he has been at the helm, he has implemented numerous welfare measures for the members of MUI. On assuming office, the General Secretary has assured all seafarers and their families of ease of access to all offices of the MUI, including himself. I thank Captain Pradhan for accepting our invitation. I will now request Captain Pradhan to take over from here. Captain Pradhan, sir. So you're muted, sir. Can't hear you, sir. Can't hear you.
Probably yeah.
Maybe I'll just take out.
Could hear you briefly for some time, so then again disconnect. No, sir. Can't hear you, sir. Can't hear you, sir. So if you can hear me, just log out and please log back in again. Maybe that will help solve the problem. Yeah, can hear you.
Okay,
Can
I'll
hear you.
just log out and log in and then see.
Can hear you
You're
now.
coming in loud and clear now, sir.
Now can hear you, yes, sir. The threat of logging out has worked, I think, with GeoMeet.
The thought itself.
I think he couldn't hear us.
Hello, testing 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, can hear you, sir, loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. We'll just check the volume out here. It's full. Okay. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. I would like to apologize. And good evening to one and all. And good evening, Captain Punappa, who's been my mentor, and I've been his chief officer on 2 occasions. So he's my guru. I won't take much time. I don't think the industry needs to know more about him. He's a legend of himself, and we all know him, and we have full respect for him. So, talking about MUI, as you have rightly mentioned, I just took over in August 2022, just been about 15 months at the helm. A lot more I've been able to achieve for the Maritime Union of India. We were at a bit of a downside when I took over at the helm. The industry was just trying to come up after COVID, but things were not going in the right way. So I had to reorganize things. I'm thankful for the maritime industry, as all of the CEOs, MDs, and the seafarers have been very supportive to MUI. They have showed a lot of faith and confidence, and that has led me to lead the way through. And the first thing that the impact that my intention was is to bring the industry together. I did not want to project that we are a unionist and we want to have things doing differently. We wanted to ensure that our maritime industry prospers, that the boom is on. We want to ensure that we keep getting more and more ships, thereby our seafarers have more employment. Our brothers who are aspiring to come out at sea from tier 2, tier 3 cities, they also get an opportunity to come and join us at sea. So that is what my first intentions. And I happen to be known in the industry, so people showed a lot of faith. The Director General of Shipping was also very supportive, and I was fortunate to be inducted into the ITF at my very first time I visited London. That was in the month of September, and I was then invited to give a presentation with the Maritime Safety Committee, whereby they took me as an observer. Then I attended 5 IMO meetings representing ITF, MSC into the IMO. And in a couple of the meetings, they gave me an opportunity to be the lead speaker of the ITF of the group, which normally takes a span of about 8 years before they try to give you this opportunity. And just this month at Lisbon annual summit of the ITF MSC, I was inducted as a permanent member and as an expert to represent ITF into the MSC for some of the meetings, especially on the navigation, communication, search and rescue, then the Triple I, which is dealing with the port state control, harmonizations of the checklist and inspections, and etc. etc. So then I've been doing a lot of things this way. What has happened is MUI has been recognized internationally now into IMO. So that's a good thing. Our officers and India has made a good progress. I've been working with the Director General of Shipping, the Indian delegates who represent IMO in a lot of meetings, and we discuss few things. We support each other's proposals. Thereby, the impact I can see now, India is well recognized in IMO. Before, we had hardly any presentation. And when I initially went in, I used to see one or two. I did meet the DG. I spoke to him. Why not we have a strong force? But he was very supportive. And once we started putting in more and more papers, the entire world today relies on India. Everyone comes now during the coffee breaks, lunch breaks at IMO, or even on the dinner side, after the meetings are over, and they come and discuss views with us, and they support India's papers, which are really well presented in the industry. And that is how our impact is going, and I'm really proud that I got this opportunity. But I would like to go further, that I need more and more presentations to come in from our Indian government and our Indian maritime industry into the IMO. And so that is what it is. And now coming to what I've been doing here ashore is, well, first thing that I've tried to see is try and bring some awareness into the seafarers and the industry, and stop taking people from the fraudulent agents, those who are luring a lot of youngsters and junior officers to take jobs by paying money. It's a strict no-no if anybody is asking money. There is a grievance cell which was there earlier but was a bit inactive, and talking to Mr. Ashish Sinha, who is the Deputy DG, and also to the Director General, that now this cell has been made very active. And any seafarer from on board and ashore, if he can directly address his grievances into the DG cell. There is no need now that they have to go to the company or come to the union and somebody takes a case up. You directly approach and the DG takes the actions. So this is sort of a small impact we were able to put in. We have been trying to ensure how to now get rid of these fraudulent agents. I've been working on that. I had 2 meetings from the Home Ministry from Mumbai. They gave 2 visits to the office in MUI, had a long discussions with me. Then they have now started to formalize something, and they have already informed DG that we have to stop all this undoings of all these wrong people entering into this market and damaging the entire image. Then they will be taking all this matter up with the center, and sooner or later the whip will be onto these fraudulent guys. So this is one of the part that we are doing. I have been also involved in a lot of guest lectures. I've been as a panelist for a lot of topics like motivation of the seafarers, the cadets who are in the last year or even those who are in the first year. I've been invited by IRS office also to give lectures. And also I was with the road show with the Shipping Corporation office with Captain Tyagi, and the NMDC inviting me to speak on Marpol 50, which was internationally celebrated a month ago, and we celebrated, I think, on the 3rd week of October, we celebrated. Then I was on the panelist with DG out there. Then we had another professor, IT R&D research professor from Chennai, who came in to talk about carbon capture and all those topics. And I had to speak on how the seafarers have adopted themselves in the last 50 years with respect to Marpol. So this way, MUI has been able to make an impact. They are feeling that we have a small, you can say, qualified master there who has been able to create at least some ripples. I will not say any waves. That's the way I feel I should go ahead, a step at a time. And that will bring a lot of confidence in our seafarers. And Also, I've been talking about giving lectures on gender equality, gender diversity, and I have also done some sponsoring for the woman who wants to join sea. And those basically whom I have sponsored have been the ratings who were selected from tier 2, tier 3, who's they were aspiring to come to sea, but they did not, their parents did not have that funds to support the training. So I have supported that through TS Rahman. And doesn't matter, this is officers union. It is about getting that equal, encouraging seafarers, the women seafarers, or what we call as a seafarers, to join sea. So it is not that it is meant only for the officers. We also have some scholarship programs, and everyone knows that we do have this medical scheme where we offer compensation or medicals that we offer for the families also. After I've come, I have been able to assist families in getting their stranded seafarers from 3 different places. One is Sri Lanka, that you all know the case. About 3 years, the ship was stranded. Aram, that one was there. Then I got one Yogesh from Libya. He was stranded out there. Then there was also one second officer, master and chief engineer, who was taken as prisoners in Iran. So these 3, we were working with their families. We are working with the DG and the ministry level, and all of them have been happily back safe. So, and all this cost, whatever it comes in that we spend, we do not ask for anything. We come forward and help from whatever the membership that we collected. So we urge that all officers should take the membership. We are the only registered officers union with the government. So if there is some other union claiming that, we can, you can register with us and we'll stand by you and you can get all the compensation, no way. Most of them are just, I'll say, agents, and only registered with the parliament, with the central government is only the MUI. And that is why we also were requested, and we were called at the global summit, and the MUI, as MUI, we had put up a stall, and we had what we do and what we intend to do in future also. And I had spoken yesterday during my pre-meeting, and I will say that also we had a shore leave issue with, after COVID, most of the Indian ports were not opening out shore leave to our seafarers. Leave apart the foreigners, but we are more concerned about Indian seafarers. And I had long discussion, number of meetings with the DG. Then we had to tap through contacts with the Ministry of State, take it up to the shipping minister, and also with the Home Ministry. And now all your 12 major ports, the shore leave is granted. We have minor ports. We still have a bit of a issue in about 10, 12 minor ports, which are basically private ports owned by Adani and etc., who are not giving the shore leave. We have still continued to work on that. I had hold a press conference for that and highlighting the issues, and it was put up in, I think, about 8 or 10 newspapers. The articles had come in. We had also informed the DG that time, who was actually also the chairman of the Bombay Port Trust, Mr. Jalota, that if things are not resolved in a month's time, we will do a dharna outside your office. It didn't come to that because he sprung into action, and he told me, I said, well, we are all officers. We don't want to go on the road. We would like to resolve these issues in the offices, but I cannot let things continue this way and let my seafarers suffer. Then if I have to go behind the bars, I go behind the bars. I'm an elected general secretary. I'm just not taken this position by, passing any examination or something. So that is what it is. And I would like to support training, because we do have now a lot of new technology coming. So we have been taking these issues. Who pays for all this? You cannot ask the seafarers to pay. This topic I have picked up also, these discussions with the ITF in London during the IBF agreements. And we said also the leave has to be compensated. You just cannot say that a seafarer gets 3 months leave and he goes under training for 1 month or 1.5 months. Otherwise, he cannot join the ship because the new technology, new fuel, alternate fuel, whatever you want to train him on. So these are the things which we keep working, and that is what the MUI keeps doing up. And the whole other thing is the job opportunities. We are trying to utilize this opportunity where Russia and Ukraine war, there is a lull of about almost, you can say 27% more job openings are available because the Ukrainians and Russians can't join. And we cannot let this slip and some other nationality take our jobs away. So I always urge our boys, you should fight for your rights, yes, but you should not be a deterrence for the owners not to take you. Don't do something which will hurt the owners. We can understand and we can work for you. We can discuss. We are there. MUI is available 24/7. I always attend all the calls and I do that. And I also want CMMI, who is a lovely outfit. We have a lot of chapters around in India. You all are a bunch of smart people. And I want you all to get into IMO. One example, I just spoke with few of you all yesterday. IMEI, Institute of Marine Engineers, are there. We are doing a good job by doing this training on what the IMO circulars are coming in. Yes, but that is after the circular has come out. I want CMMI representation for forming these circulars in IMO. And we can go through IRS, we can go through DG and get onto that panels. We have to approach them, we have to show that this, and we collectively, we can have some committee, spot out few smart persons who can devote some time and generate some papers, take it across to the DG, say this is what it is. There is new technology coming. As one example is now this VHFs are going to be done away with. It is all going to be AIS, GPS, everything into one. Is all going to be digitalized and all those things. We need to get in touch with the makers, see what they are doing, what is for the future. A lot of radio equipment is going to be changed now. So also your ARPAs and all these things are going to be now. A big change is coming in. A lot of training will be involved. A lot of simulators will be required. ARI has got fantastic simulators also. I just saw in the global summit. And same way, why not our CMMI people get together, start something, and I think we can do wonders. I want master mariners to put their best foot forward. You all have always been the leading persons. You have been at the helm. You've been the master on board. Let us be at the master at the IMO also. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak. And I said, I look into the agreements. I sign all the CBAs with the companies. But before that, I go for discussions with IBF, ITF for the CBAs. And I push them for the maximum we can for all the seafarers. If you have any grievances, anything, people want to know, all the youngsters before joining, whether this company X is reliable or not, please send me the details. I will check and inform you that it is safe to join or no. I have an access for that. So thanks once again. And I wish you all the best and wonderful careers for all the seafarers. Pleasure being with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the very enlightening talk about the MUI and its latest updates. Sir, while we wait for the questions from the audience, there's a backfeed of those. Yeah. So I just had a question for you, sir.
Yeah.
The CBA which is there, how does the MUI influence the seafarers' wages for the officers especially?
The CBA basically goes with the IBF agreement. See, IBF is the base model. So that is the minimum wages which these owners will have to give. This is, I'm talking about the foreign companies. So you cannot come below that. Now, each company, as you know, pays more than that. because that is the base level. If any company is sending you below that, you have got the right to refuse. You have to just write to us and we'll get back to them, because the IBF it's governed along with the ITF agreement. So this is where that CBA, that when we said that the final IBF was done recently in Berlin on the first week of October, we finished the final. It took third round this time. Usually second round is the maximum they go on, but there was a lot of disagreement between us and the owners, and it went on to the third round. At Berlin, finally it was settled. There was only one issue which the owners were not happy to give in to us, was free Wi-Fi. The wages and all, we managed 6% for the 2-year agreement raise, out of which 4% they will give on the first year, 2% on the second year. Initially, they wanted to reverse it 2 and 4, but then that earns them a little more money than giving the seafarers the money. We reversed it out, saying that we want 4 on the first, 2 on the second. On the second day, they agreed on everything except for the Wi-Fi. They said, we will go as per the MLC. If that has to be charged, we'll offer 24 hours Wi-Fi, but whatever charges should be the minimum charges as per that. MLC term is that way. In MLC, we need to get an amendments done. There are already, I think, 4 or 5 amendments done in MLC, and we are going to push for the 6th amendment with respect to Wi-Fi in MLC also. So in future, maybe in the next agreement, we'll find that they will allow free Wi-Fi. They have their reservation saying that work and rest hours does affect, because everybody is on the YouTube. There is no get-togethers now. People are not mixing with each others. It's good. Like, you do not know who's your next door neighbor or how many children he has. So that sort of a culture is now getting into it, and people are more keen. We were telling, if you limit, then people are always looking when he's going off watch and going and switching on his mobile and or his laptop, and he wants to work. So I say that is also not good, because his mind is not on work. So accidents can happen during that last half an hour of handing over, taking over, whatever it is. But let us see. I hope it will be done. And as I said, the Indian company that comes in is we wait for the MAIB first agreement done with the crew rating. On that basis, then I will be negotiating with INSA. We also have CBA with ICSA for the coastal vessels also. And there is a lot of jobs coming in on the coastal vessels. We need more and more seafarers coming in. Please, everybody, do your best. Tell your friends and brothers and even your sisters, and please join sea. Don't worry about automation. Jobs are not going to go away so soon at all. And even in automation, short jobs are only going to be meant for seafarers only. We cannot have an IT guy running a vessel and avoiding a collision or preventing it from grounding. So just take those ideas off. You're going to be in business, and be there. And that is all that we want. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for the answer, sir. So, what are we doing about winning the trust of seafarers? Because MUI is much vilified, and for not answering emails, not answering phone calls, not attending to seafarers stranded somewhere. And how much can one person make a difference when the entire team which is there is from the past?
One person, impossible. Well, there ain't no such word in the dictionary, but it is true. But I have kept my phone 24 by 7 open. If I don't pick up at night or something, I see what are the missed calls. I start answering them. Emails, we do reply. It isn't that we don't reply the emails. I have an auto, this where the mail at maritime is given, and then it automatically also comes to me as a GS. Now, about standard seafarers, what happens is, when this matter goes to the ministry, then it goes ministry to ministry. Then it is left up to the ministry. And you know how our ministry is. It is not easy to work things into Delhi. And many a times it's a court case. Once a court hearing takes place, nobody can do, because it becomes a subjudiciary issue. It's the same thing. Even today, if there is a subjudiciary issue in India, you and me cannot make any comments. So that is what it is. If people feel that we are not answering, please let me know. Please send me a mail on GS at Maritime Union of India, and I will ensure it is answered. I do not have much staff in MUI because this you require that many funds to have people. We do not have that space. But I believe even our regional offices that we have, they do care. People have to approach us. Many a times, what happens is people are on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not an official communication platform, and that is what I want to address it to all the seafarers. We have, because what happens on WhatsApp is there are so many groups, so much of messaging, so much of negativity has been spread about MUI. The reason of this negativity is lot of people, these are non-members who are spreading the negativity. Can you believe we only charge till date 1800 rupees for an annual their membership fee? And what is 1800 rupees today? One evening you go out, I think you will spend more than that. And sorry to say, I will not take any names. I've been getting emails or on WhatsApp the messages that this is, sir, my hard-earned sweat that I'm giving you. What am I getting in return? We are not an insurance company or something that you invest 1800 and I can give you at 5% or 10% interest the money or is going to multiply. We are offering you the services. We are not also a placement service. See, and we are governed for expenditure by the FCRA. And FCRA and income tax, they have a big lens on us. Even if I have to give a scholarship, I have to think twice. We are not allowed to make profit. And that is one of the reasons that we do not. Now, this convalescent homes that we have as one of the welfares that we, not many even apply for it. And we are open to it. You apply, we immediately give it to you if it is available. We ask for good feedback. If you have a feedback, you let us know. I have done some concessions on that and letting, some officers take their friends and go, and they have damaged the properties. If I damage the property and tomorrow you have the next week you are already slotted for it, and if you go and find that things are not in place, if I tell you sorry, you have to cancel your plans because somebody has damaged it, how do you feel about it? You are not concerned about who has done the damage. You are going to blame the organization MUI. I have changed the upholsteries in all the convalescent homes. I've got all the repairs done. I have also put a proposal that I want to charge a little extra and give you fresh linen, and that's your linen, you can take it back with you. I'm not of the idea of washing the linen and letting you use the towels and what you do it in the hotels or the linen. I would like to sterilize and give you the new stuff. Hygiene is very important. See, we have to look after things also. Now I'm planning, but it was in my you can say proposal when I was actually initially when I joined that I want to put a convalescent home looking for in the South India, because we have covered most of India, but the South India is not covered that sector. And I promised all the officers there for the South Belt that I have couple of homes lined up. One I will be looking at Captain Punappa, it is in Kunur. So I'll be going over there to see if it is feasible, because when we look for the sites, we have to see whether how far it is from the domestic airports also, and whether you have sufficient parking, you have some restaurants close by and all that thing. I have some proposals at Kodaikanal. The board of trustees, the teams will be visiting things. We are looking into documents. It doesn't happen overnight, it takes time, but things are improving and we'll do that. And you will find, after I've said what all I've done, I have 2 pages of what I have achieved in this last 1 year. I think it's with that, I think people should keep the faith and have faith in MUI. And we are very humble, and even if I cannot help you out, I'm still able to convince you that this is just beyond me. We do cases where everybody asks us to support them for funds, but we cannot do that way. Our collection is not that much. And there are other non-members and there are now 32 unions itself in Mumbai. Now, only 3 are registered. One is NUSI for the ratings and FUSI also for the ratings. Now, where are these 29 else coming from? Everybody is saying, every group of agents they form and say we have formed a union, and they are just there to fleece and take money from you. So many agreements are signed, they write their names are there, but nobody signs over there. We are now knocking every week. I send my staff to go and visit at least 3 companies and check the CBAs. So many of them block us up. They don't want to let us know what they are up to. You know. So these are things which are happening all over India. We have over 70 unions now. From where are these coming up? These are like those wild berries or wild flowers that blossom up in during after monsoon time. You know. And in the fall you can't find anything anywhere, but we are still here. So boys, and all to my seafarers, I'll say I have spent 45 years at sea. I've been a member of union from 1981 when I joined as a cadet. I'm not as a cadet, as a third officer, and I am still a member. Have faith. Not a single rupee of yours is going to be misused. I will ensure to that. I have bought a lot of books we did not have. Now I'm starting, I've got a proposal passed in principle by our trustees. I'm trying to make an e-library for our seafarers so that during their, when they go for their examinations and all, they, if you are a member, you can just log in, we'll give you the ID and you can use these books. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to go to the cheapest Xerox also to, get things Xeroxed in. So I'm trying to do for that and that e-library is enormous cost. I have to, convince the board of trustees to pass it so that they sanction that amount. It is just not 1 lakh and 5 lakh and 10 lakhs. And the project is being given to Captain Chief Halbe of Masa, who is the CEO. He's going to work on it and give me all the proposals and who is good and who, what rates we can have and how we can implement it. It will take time, boys, but it will. My whole intention is before I walk down from this MUI, I want to roll down few more things for our boys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. There is some questions on the chat window, sir. I'll just read them out. The first question says, it's from Captain Hari. Wages to be from home till back at home, similar to Filipinos. This will make the return journey fast. So basically, he's asking that the wages in the CBA should cover from home to home, like the Filipino seafarers.
See, this AMOSUP is a different setup. The fundings are different. In the IBF, you see what happens is you have a Norwegian CBA, you have a Danish CBA, you have a Shell CBA. So these are different things. And what happens is like Danish and Norwegians, they go as per their Norwegian rules and regulations. What their government has put in. You cannot insert a new clause. Now, companies themselves have a different thing. Now for the ratings, the norms are different of this, but with the Filipinos, by and large, this MOSUP, which CBAs that they have been having an advantage because there have been more of Filipinos and their influence into the European sector also. You do find when we go on board, there is more soft corner for the Norwegians, Danish, for the Filipinos. Indians, because of our skills, we are accepted. Given a choice, they first try to, but they know lower ratings, lower ranks, Filipinos are okay, good enough to be accepted. But when it comes to the higher positions, the Filipinos today are themselves refusing to take those positions. I would love, there is nothing wrong, and if our boys can get this, we are also, see, there is, I had yesterday a discussion with one of the companies saying that the full wages should start when you leave the first international airport, or is it once you reach on board? Now, there are companies to companies who have different norms. Some companies give you from the time you leave your first international airport, your full wages start. Some of the companies give you your full wages once you step on board, and they just give you a basic in between. So that part is not covered in a standard CBA. this is a further company to company, but this will take some time before we start making all the owners agree, because when this IBF agreement is done, it is an international agreement with all the countries. So that is something like there are so many requests which we come in. They say that the top 4 officers should be given business class. Now that cannot be put because they say this is not in the legislation. So you can't put these things in the CBA. I also try to push for the your food allowance, that it should be minimum $12 to $15 per person on board. But that also, they say, well, it is not in a centralized legislation. So these things don't come in the CBA. If you have an issue with your food, address it. And we will take this matter up. So there are lots of ifs and don'ts which one cannot do. I don't blame the seafarers because with so many years as a master, even I was one of them who used to fight for everything. But today, once I've come ashore, now I know what is possible and not possible, how hard it is to bargain with these people. And we don't want to be left out and be out of the market. My thing is that we would like to see that we get the best as well as we are able to get 2 more extra jobs. And that is the reason why today most of the companies are getting ships almost daily, new ships, and we really do not have that much of staff to man them. So I hope I have satisfied the officer who has asked this question. I think it's that from Captain Harry.
Yes,
So
sir.
Captain Harry, I hope you understand. And still, if you need further clarifications, you can be in touch with me and we can keep discussing. That is not a problem. And I would welcome anyone from who is going through Bombay or in Bombay. They are there. They can come and visit our office. Just take a pre-appointment so that I can give you that time. And we can discuss things at a length. They can come together in groups also. No hassles about it. And the lunch will be on me. Don't worry about it.
Excellent. So I have got 4 more questions in the chat window. Captain Movendan is asking, which all flags is this increase in wages applicable to?
These are the FOC flags. But even for the non-FOC flags, the IBF agreement is applicable. We do a TCC agreement with them. So IBF is a standard minimum base agreement. You cannot be paid below that. It's like the MABI agreement which Indian flag vessels have. You cannot give anything below that, you know. So that is how it is.
Okay. A question from Captain Sandeep Vatsa. Why different nationalities get higher scale than Indian officers in the same company for the same rank?
See, what I look at it is different nationalities will be basically British and all that. So that is as per their economy, as per their minimum scale that they have. Their CBA is a different. They have a Shell, like for Shell, if you say their agreement is different. For the Norwegians, for their officers agreement, because their standard of livings are different. Their taxations are different. We are not paying the tax there to that government. Those people have to pay tax to that government. So that is why the scales look bigger, but you will find that maybe you're taking home a little extra salary than what that captain is taking or that chief engineer is taking.
Thank you, sir. Again, another question from Captain Sandeep Vatsa. He is a sailing master, sir. So he writes, can MUI do something about substandard candidates being selected by MTIs?
By whom?
By the Maritime Training Institutes. The cadets being taken by the
From
MTI as,
MTI you're talking about.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now this is a very big gray area. Today, everybody wants people. When that, you see, I've been getting calls, or even if you say on, I will not name the persons, on a lot of WhatsApp group, they've been writing that DG should ease off the standard of examination, and they are very strict and they should pass the boys, and why have this online, let is etc., etc. Now, if you are going to talk that way, I know, Captain, I'm sorry, Captain Sandeep, that you have to take a lot of burden on your shoulders to train people and have sleepless nights. I do agree. I have also gone through the same. But what can you do about it? Today, we need the numbers. The companies cannot tell the owners that, sorry, we do not have the staff, so we cannot take your ships in, because then they will go to some other nationalities and they might start losing the ships that they have in their hands also. So this is going to come in. It is left to each company that they have some onboard programs. He can write to their own CEOs and MDs and ask for a better training programs for their own seafarers, and have at on board also a lot of CBTs and all that thing. And I'm sure then you can train somebody and they will come up to some standards which is acceptable to you. They might not be the best, but still we have to manage it. That's the today's scenario.
Thank you so much, sir. Any other questions from the audience? I have run out of questions on the chat window. Captain Rao, Captain Patil. Captain Prashant has got a question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think Jitendra, you missed it. I put it on the chat window. But I can just quickly ask Captain Pradhan.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Captain Pradhan, regarding these MUI benefits that are usually there for hospitalization, medical treatment, is MUI working on increasing the benefits, taking into account how medical treatment, hospitalization is also the costs are increasing?
So basically, that all relates to how much funds get generated.
Mhm.
Now, I will like to explain a very important factor which most of them are not aware. It is not your membership which gives you the medical thing. Along with your, it is the company's contribution to the trust that gives the medical claims. So we have companies who have say about 500 ships, but he doesn't declare 200 of them to us, and he only gives you money for 300. Now, I will give you an example about our INSA agreement that we have. A blunder which was done a year ago or 2 years ago before I came into the chair. There was a contribution from the owners of 6,000 rupees per officer. They slashed it down in one of the meetings to 3,600. Over and above that, they said it will be on minimum manning. Now, minimum manning, you can have 8 people, 10 people, maximum 12 people in any safe manning, not minimum, safe manning certificate, they say. But you have officers which one batch goes after 6 months, another batch comes after 6 months. So you are going to have almost say 10 officers, which is 20 officers. And you are only paying, you have literally slashed it down by 45%. And also you're working on a safe manning. So when we have to cover for all the mediclaims that come in, so then we have to see that, okay, what you are for any ailment, okay, we limit this to this, because you have to run. You cannot now. Last 1 year, we are going in the negatives. Our earnings are less, our expenditure is more, because the claims have literally been, you can say, 3 times more for us. We cannot say no to anybody. So that is where the issue arises. What we have done is we have increased the stakes for your education part. If something happens to the family, and we do give 6 lakhs each to the children for his education, subject to the receipts forwarded to us. Now, suppose an officer, if he has passed away and he has small children, maybe in just junior KGs, class 1, class 2. What I've decided is, doesn't matter, 6 lakhs we keep on his name. And all his education until it gets exhausted to 6 lakhs, we'll keep paying. We cannot do an upfront payment because the FCRA does not allow us to do this upfront payment. We are governed by a lot of government rules. And this FCRA says, so we asked them, what is the problem? Because you see, what happens is, to keep a tap is not easy. Then you have to have extra people to serve in the office. Now, who has to? We have to also pay for their extra wages. So they are saying that this aid that you are giving, what if they invest and make money on it? Government thinkings are really, I'll tell you. It doesn't help us. Even if you break your head, you bang your head, nothing is going to work. That line of thinking is really absurd. I said, what difference does it make? This is for his education. Give it once and for all. Let that lady, poor lady, she has lost her husband. Let her earn a little extra pennies. What does it hurt you? Am I making money on it? Then you stop me. No, they're saying you can't do that. So this is where we are governed by, very ridiculous laws. And I have to say that we have to go by it.
Yeah.
We understand their point of view also, and they have reasons for it. So we follow them. We are part of the government. We have to support the government, and we are proud to be the citizen of this government.
Yeah. So another question. The contribution from the companies, is it compulsory? It is voluntary.
Voluntary.
Yeah.
Now,
And
if your company does not pay, how do I give you the mediclaim?
Yeah, true.
So the seafarer is not aware whether his company is a contributor or not. So these companies also play hide and seek. They do not disclose. We ask them to give us a crew list of how many people on board. No, 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 no. Now this GDPR, we cannot disclose the identity and details and all those things. They will say, okay, we only have 6 people on board and we are paying only for 6 people. But when you are my member, the claim comes. How do I check whether the contribution from the company against your name has been remitted or no? But I'll be paying you then, because your company has been contributing, it shows on to me. So this is where my you can say, I'm going in depth. My income is less, my expenditure is more.
Yeah. Okay.
But we have to keep the show running. We do not refuse anyone. You have to give us original bills, and we will pay you. First, it was taking 3 months. Now I've said, I put this onto the trust, 30 days. If you can't pay in 30 days, let me know. And you must acknowledge every claim that has been sent across by the seafarer, because he is sending you his original bills. I said, how will he know that you are in receipt of it? See, these things were not there in the past. This is what I have put in now, so that you know that, okay, your claim, so your documents have been received by me. Otherwise, tomorrow I can say that, oh, Captain Patil, sorry, when did you send? I don't have the documents only. Where are you going to get your originals again?
True.
So this is what I've been working on. One man cannot change the organization.
Indeed.
It takes
Indeed.
time.
Indeed, sir.
But I need your support. If you don't support me, they will throw me out of the window also. Keep this off the record.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you so
much,
much,
sir.
sir. Sir, one last question from me. I just wanted to also place on record that CMMI Master, Captain
Sorry,
Bhasin,
I
will
was getting a call. Can you please repeat it?
yeah. Just wanted to place on record that Captain MP Bhasin, our CMMI Master, is also online with us here. Just wanted to clarify one last point, sir. So, if a seafarer officer stops sailing, he doesn't remain entitled for any insurance after he stops sailing.
Yes. See, as long as he is a member, he will get it. The trust will give. But once his membership ceases, because if he is not sailing, his membership will cease. The membership is only for the seafarers who are sailing. Now you can quit sailing in month of May, but your membership is till December. So we don't. So we are not going to say, "Oh, you've not been sailing," and then we don't want to deprive you of anything. We are here to support the seafarers. And what happens is there is also that you have to put a claim within a period of 3 months or something. Otherwise, they do not honor your claims. Then what happens is MUI on humanitarian grounds we discuss and we say, okay, let's sanction a small amount at least and give it to their families. So we do that. That goes out of your contribution of your membership. So out of that also we try to push something through. Eventually we have to support the seafarer. And I would love to have persons like Captain Basin and the MUI chair. So then we can get a good chunk of money from him. He's such a rich guy and such a sweetheart, I'll tell you. There he's smiling. He doesn't mind. He's the right guy there. Basin साहब, good evening.
Very
गोली
good
मत
evening.
मारना मुझे, गोली मत मारना.
नहीं अरे इट्स ओपन फोरम अकेले में मारूंगा ओपन फोरम में नहीं but anyway coming back the point that you have discussed today very well. The basic thing we have always said the our seafarers or even the people working ashore now in position to mentor seafarers, they have not much knowledge about what you can get from MUI or from SWSF or from the DGCPE or from CBA agreement. That knowledge somewhere is not that much. Once that we know na, then of course like we know अभी हमारा कोई we can work for the company our seafarer something goes wrong we know we go after MUI and Lucy they have always looked after our seafarers but I can do that much because we know that these are the schemes, because we know these are the things that MUI does. Even I am very happy Tushar mentioned about the education. You know, there's a seafarer of a home company. He was going through some pressure, work. He was not even, he's alive, but not working. But MUI went out and they paid for his child education. So these are the some of the things out of the way they also do. But somebody has to approach them. Somebody has to know the rules and regulations. That knowledge, I feel, is not that much known in the industry. It is my personal feeling. If you all know, then this topic is another one. But I meet many seafarers. I meet many company people. And lot of forums, not only my own company, even MUI, CMMI, or others, you know, in ITF related. Knowledge is not there much. MLC knowledge is not there. People don't even know their rights or whom to approach in case of difficulty. That is my take on this.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inputs. Sir, with your permission, sir, we'll move to the second agenda point of the day.
Yes, sir, we are waiting to Captain Chaudhary. Yes.
Yes, sir. We now begin the second agenda point of our webinar. In a world where few men rise to the occasion and deliver, Captain Anil Chaudhary stands as a shining example of bravery, humanity, and compassion, exemplifying the finest traditions of the sea. How we act during difficult moments while commanding a vessel and its crew defines our character. The shipmaster's actions during such critical times and his exceptional leadership ultimately determines the outcome. On the 7th of November 2022, Captain Anil Chaudhary, master of the Japanese flagged vessel Helios Leader, rescued 303 survivors, including women and children, from a boat adrift in the South China Sea amidst extreme weather conditions, all without the loss of a single life or injury to the survivors or his crew. The rescued individuals were transferred to MRCC Vietnam at the port of Vung Tau. Captain Anil Chaudhary comes from an army background. He did his schooling from a military school in Himachal Pradesh completed his second mates from AMC Australia, mates and masters from Warsash Maritime Academy, Southampton in United Kingdom. Besides being a good table tennis player, he is an avid trekker and has recently been to the Everest Base Camp. He has been associated with NYK Ship Management since 2004 and presently sailing on car carriers. I'll request Captain Anil to present the online audience and address the online audience and describe the events of the day as they unfolded. Over to you, Captain Anil.
Yes, thank you very much, Captain Jitendra. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I've met a lot of people in a couple of award ceremonies and all. Mr. Basin, we have met them, and Captain Tushar also. So the incident related to the rescue operation. The important part of this was that there had never been such a huge rescue operation carried out in South China Sea. And the best part of this was that we were two Indians on board, and myself and chief engineer, as Mr. Tushar Pradhan was just saying, that most of the companies, they still insist on senior officers being of Indian. In all the Indian companies, they prefer that the senior officers are Indian. I think it's just because of the determination and the action and the promptness that we try to do the best which we can in the circumstances. And I'm glad that that day I could deliver. So it's all by the grace of Almighty, and also wonderful crew I had. And of course, as usual in foreign companies, like the crew was all were Filipinos, and I had junior officers from Vietnam, and myself and chief engineer Dinesh Khanna. He's also from Chennai. So total crew of 25 were there. And initially, when we got this report about a ship in distress, so it came on SATC in a geographical position that there is a ship in distress with 300 people on board. Like it's a sort of unbelievable sort of number, actually, if you look at it. And same thing happened with us that day also, that we thought there is some typing mistake or something. So I called up MRCC Singapore immediately, and I said, I'm just close by the position, and can we confirm on this number of people, because it's mentioned as 300. And they said that we are still looking at the intelligence input, what we are getting from everywhere. And we are not sure, could be 3, could be 30. And so if you are close by, please go and look for it. So we started the operation. We altered immediately. We had altered by the time. And the position mark was about 7 miles off our track. It's a normal route which vessels take. I'll try and put a photo of the location, and it'll just give you an idea. Can you see the photo now?
Yes, we can see, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, just show you the location if you can get it up. So the position actually was about 300 miles from the nearest land. The nearest land was actually Vietnam. And this was later on we came to know that this is the actual position, if you can see. So initially we are not aware of who the people are and what they are, where they are headed to, and what was the purpose. So we went for the rescue, and later on we came to know that these people were they had gone with some agents, and the agents had promised them that they would take them on a journey from Myanmar to Canada. They were all Sri Lankan nationals, all of them. and because of the, I think, the economic conditions in the country, so they had opted for this journey, which was near impossible, even ships our size. So actually, they moved out 2 days at sea, and they ran out of fuel and water. And the guys who were taking them in the boat, they left them high and dry. And this was the boat actually. If you can see, it was teeming with people. It was a very small boat, about
Sorry, excuse me, Captain Anil. Sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you.
yeah.
Captain Anil, we are unable to see your documents, Captain.
Okay.
I think you need to swap the screen.
Let me try it one more time.
Prashant, I can see the.
Because what I can
screen
see
there.
is just the folder with a lot of pictures, videos, and
Wait,
I'm not sure. What about the rest of them?
let me open it again. Maybe. Okay, let me disconnect it and try one more time. Okay, one second. I think I'll show you this way. Can you see the photo now?
Yeah, now it's visible, sir.
Yeah, so this was the boat. It was teeming with people. So there were more than 300 people, obviously, on the boat. And okay. And this is a small clip of the condition of the sea. The sea state was about wind force was 5, and there was a swell of 3 to 4 meters already. And by the evening, it had picked up. And if I'm able to run the video, you'll realize you can see the gravity of the situation and how the boat was moving. Can you see?
Can see.
Yeah. So that was the difficult part. And one small clip I'll show of that. So this is the state of the sea. You can see that the movement of the boat was quite significant, and there was a lot of swell, and water was spraying all over during the rescue. So yeah. So that was the condition basically. So it was a very risky operation. Even our crew, we had to harness them to the pilot ladder, and we had to, in fact, literally grab each survivor and pick them up. And by the time we had finished the entire operation, the boat had already taken in a lot of water, and after we cast the boat off, it sank. So it was just a matter of hours, that had we delayed the operation for next day daylight, then it would have been too late. And lucky for us that we could continue. And initially, like, I asked the crew that we're gonna pick up 50 people, because we thought, let us target something and try to get the women and children first. And we did that, then we started pushing them for another 20, another 10 more, and slowly, after in about 5 hours, we were able to complete the operation successfully. There are a lot of other ships which were standing by to assist, and MRCC Singapore was coordinating the entire operation. They helped us negotiate.
I think we
I think,
lost
yeah, we just
Captain
lost
Anil.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time he comes by, I just wanted to inform the audience that Captain Anil has been awarded by CMMI also. CMMI has awarded him with the Exemplary Action by Sailing Master Award 2023. Sagar Samman Award for Gallantry 2023 was given by the NMD committee. IMO letter of commendation presented by Honorable Minister Dharmendra Pradhan at the GMIS event 2023. So he's been, and I think the first person to identify him was Captain Tushar Pradhan. Still, he's not joined us. He's back, yeah. Captain Anil, we can't hear you.
Yeah, so I think getting. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Yeah, so this operation has been recognized all by a lot of maritime authorities, not only from Singapore and Vietnam and Sri Lankan government as well, and then the DG Shipping, and of course now lastly by the IMO, which is a great achievement for all of us, and both for maneuvering of the vessel and also for the safe rescue of all without any loss of life or injury to the crew. So yeah, I think if we share this information, how this operation was carried out, I'm trying to make a steady material out of this, and I would like to share it out on other platforms also, like I'm discussing with my company and how we are trying to share this information. So I think it will benefit the seafarers, because at times of emergencies and all, it is your not only your instinct but also your awareness of the situation which will help you out in this situation. And have you been through a process, if you see the videos, if you see how people have carried out the operation, it would be quite helpful. So yeah, that is it.
Thank you so much, Captain Anil, for joining us and giving us the brief. I would like Captain Tushar Pradhan, General Secretary MUI, to say a few words about Captain Anil.
Once again, congratulations, Captain Anil. It was
Thank
sad to see that we did see this article, and when we saw that no recognition is coming to Captain Anil, and we were being in NYK, have served on NYK vessel, I was a little surprised at how things have been kept quiet. I just checked even with your office in Mumbai, but it wasn't so much of warmth that I could feel that is coming through their office also. So then I did have a small get together. We invited the industry, and also we invited Madam also along with Captain Anil, and we did felicitate him. And then we put this up an article everywhere in our social media and everywhere to highlight that you know such a bravery act that he has done, and nobody wants to applaud him. It is so sad that we slip, or today my words can be minced and lot of criticism will come in. They were everyone will jump in. But when it came something like this, there were very few takers probably for it. And I'm sure Captain Anil will agree on that. But I think after that, that was a sort of an impact which MUI was able to do along with NUSI. And I think now he's already reached IMO, so less said the better from my side. And I hope a lot of masters and chief engineers and also junior officers learn things from him. As he said, awareness. Rather, I'm happy that he's talking about a video that will enhance some skills of the masters. How he has actually maneuvered the vessel and able, because you see, it's not that easy. I've been on car carriers, I've been on ro so I know what it is. I've done one fishing vessel rescue I had gone in Pacific also. If you have a little higher impact, that boat can split, it can break off, and you lose everything. So if he can put all these acts together and how your maneuvering was, that will help the future masters or the existing masters who are there, or those who are going to be masters in near future, to enhance their skills and then practice this somewhere and then see that, well, we should be able to also do such an operation. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Definitely.
Thank you so much, Captain Tushar sir, Captain Anil. Now I'll request Captain Prashant Patil, Secretary of CMMI Bangalore chapter, to propose the vote of thanks. Captain Prashant.
Good evening to all present today. Thank you very much, Captain Jitendra, Chairman of CMMI Bangalore chapter, to give me this privilege to present the vote of thanks for today's wonderful webinar. Thanks to Captain Basin and CMMI Mumbai, as always, for their support and guidance. A special thanks goes to our two wonderful speakers for today. One, Captain Tushar Pradhan, General Secretary MUI, for enlightening us on MUI, especially on how MUI has an impact on our seafaring community. Secondly, thanks to Captain Anil Chaudhary, recipient of many awards, to have come on board and shared his wonderful experience with us. Thanks to Sailor today for covering this event for us. And last but not the least, our members who have given their time to participate in this webinar. A big thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Captain Prashant. So I'll
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Jitendra. Thank you, Captain Patil, and to all and one over there. And hope to keep this thing going. All the best to CMMI.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you,
Good night.
Captain Punappa. Hope to be in touch with you. Sir, you are muted. Can't hear Captain Punappa.
His mic is open. I think some problem
So
with the
you're
hardware.
open-heartedly invited to the MUI office. Please take this, accept my invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Captain
you, thank you.
Tushar,
Yeah.
Captain
Thank you,
Jitendra, and
Captain
Captain
Anil.
Tushar.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone. Have a
Thank you all. Yeah, thanks.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, bye.